Fabulous. Got that going.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
You're live, just so you know.
We're live, folks. What was the highlight of everybody's weekend this weekend? Their run?
Yeah, I ran 5.
That's awesome, Jen. I was stoked to see that post.
Yeah, my legs tonight were like, what the hell did you do?
That's good. That's good. All right, I'm going to start into this, and hopefully some more folks jump on.
Hey Jen, can we encourage those that are on if they're able to? So like, I'd love to see faces or like at least their names so we know who we've got.
How did they do that?
Well, if they just dialed in by phone, then they've got to log off and log in from a computer or like their iPhone. But which I'm assuming they're on their iPhone. I don't know really.
Yeah, if you guys have the capability of throwing your name down or turning on the video.
Yeah, they can put it in chat. They can put it in the chat.
Yeah, put it in the chat so you can, I opened up chat so you guys can certainly post questions there or, send funny jokes or whatever.
I'm really technically challenged, so I don't know if I'm going to be able to do all that.
I hear you. I had to call Summer before this to do a dry run. All right, so first of all, thank you guys for signing up for the run. We are up to some pretty good numbers from last year. Last year we had a whopping 7 runners, and this year, yes, we went 5. This year right now we're up to 26, and I'm anticipating another team signing up. And that would be a team from Hope for the Warriors. Still waiting to get that confirmed or not. So it's either going to be upwards to like 35 total or 26. So huge growth from last year. And I thank you guys for again signing up and doing this journey once again with us. Basically, for those of you that are new to the run, biggest thing for me to tell you is this run is going to be how you make it. The training is going to be how you make it. The weekend is going to be how you make it. And hopefully it's a fun time for you. It's definitely going to be an emotional journey that weekend. So hopefully you guys are prepared for that. And just know that we're all there for each other. And there's going to be highs and lows, but no matter what, it's going to be probably the best time of your life, truly and honestly. I have an entire outline of stuff I need to get out to you guys, so let me know if you have questions as I'm going to try and roll through this. Reminder that I created a Facebook group, and so I believe most of you are on that. If not, I've sent invites to you via email if I'm not friends with you on Facebook. So just make sure that you log into that and you accept that request. I'll probably do another conference call before the run, but I am putting out a lot of communication on that Facebook page. And again, similar to the run, the Facebook page is how you guys want to create it. So, it was awesome to see people posting to that page this weekend with run updates, pictures, and things like that. That's awesome. That's just going to create a stronger unit of all of us traveling from the Pentagon to New York. For those of you who are new, how does the run work? I've been asked this question by quite a few people, so I just kind of want to let you know how this run works. So we're all going to be at the Pentagon, and every team is going to send off their first runner. And the first runner is going to let the team know, hey, I just want to run this many miles. And it's completely up to the runners how many miles you want to run at any given time. You coordinate and communicate that with your team. So let's just say first runner on my team says, hey, I want to run 5 miles. So the first runner is going to take off. The van is going to go 5 miles down on the route. The runner will meet the van. That runner will then jump into the van, and the next runner will then jump out. And the next runner will say, I just feel like running 3 miles. Cool. right? So then the next runner will start on their journey. The van will travel up 3 miles, and then the runner meets the van. And it's kind of like a hopscotch relay like that. You also have options. Hi to whoever just joined us. Not sure who.
Oh, it's Megan.
Hey, Megan, how are you?
Hey, I'm doing well. Sorry I'm late.
Awesome. So then the next runner, as you guys are in the van, you can coordinate, hey, I'm feeling good, I want to run next. Hey, I'm not feeling good, I want to run like 2 people later. So you're kind of on and off running throughout the day, and you totally coordinate it with your team. And you can coordinate it like if you want to run a longer clip, like let's say, hey, I want to run 6 miles, but will the van check on me every 2 miles? We actually had to do that last year on the second day because it was super hot out. So we ended up, when people would go out for their run, we just kind of coordinated to where the van was checking on the runner every 1 to 2 miles to be like, hey, do you need water? Hey, are you feeling okay? Do you need to switch out? Because it did get to be actually really excruciatingly hot on the second day. And some people had an idea in their head, I'm going to run this many miles. But when you start hitting that pavement and you start on your journey, on that leg of your journey, you might realize, I just don't have it in me. I need a break, right? And that's totally okay. The biggest thing for you guys to know is this is not a race. This is not to see which van gets to the firehouse where we're staying that night first, right? That's not what this is. It's truly to remember and honor the lives lost that day, the emergency personnel who responded that day, and the military response that we've had since then. So please don't feel that there is pressure on any team to get to the firehouse first, because that's not what this is. And speaking of firehouses, we will be staying at the same exact firehouses that we stayed at last year. So I visited some of them last weekend. So Singerly Firehouse will be housing us the first night. That's in Elkton, Maryland. That's approximately between 90 and 100 miles up the road from here, up the road from the Pentagon. So the first, I've front-loaded the mileage on our journey. So day 1 and day 2 are heavy miles. Day 3 is going to be the best day of your life. It's shorter miles. The day is not as taxing, and we will be stopping at lots of firehouses. You're going to be eating loads of food on the third day because everybody seems to want to cook for us. And we are going to have a police escort the entire third day, a police and firefighter escort. So that is going to really be epic. It's kind of like a build up to the third day. And then the second day, the second night, we're staying at Trenton Firehouse. They do have a fire pole there that you can go down. Summer tested it last year. She slid down the fire pole. So if anyone is interested, they do allow that there.
That was so fun.
That was fun. They also have a really cool museum that they'll be taking us through and all of that. What can you expect at the firehouses where we're staying? What are those sleeping quarters? We will be on cots. You will want to bring probably a light blanket or a small travel pillow. Note that I have said small, because we will be carrying everything with us in those vans. So you need to realize you better be packing light. Literally, because the vans will be packed with luggage, nutrition, t-shirts, flags, because one of our sponsors, Flags of Valor, is donating these massive wooden flags that veterans are actually making and will be signing. All the runners will be signing the back of the flags, and each firehouse that's housing us will be getting one of these flags, and they're huge. So the vans will be full of a lot of stuff. Don't think that this is like a weekend where you need to look pretty. We're all going to look sweaty and nasty. So it's a small little piece of luggage, maybe a backpack. And then, like I said, you may want to bring a pillow and a blanket. And I can tell you that last year when we were at Trenton Firehouse, where they had the cots set up, I mean, it was insanely cold in that room. You really could have probably hung meat in that room. So you definitely want to make sure that you bring a light blanket. But that's basically what you can kind of expect as far as like sleeping quarters, firehouses where we're staying, that sort of thing.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah, please. Absolutely.
Did you guys shower last year? Or is that just like not a thing?
Fabulous question. Fabulous question. There will
Shower, adult thinking.
yeah. There will be
Or do we just get hosed down, like outside?
that may happen. So yeah, each firehouse does have bathrooms for us to shower. That being said, it's not like there's going to be like 10 showers for the girls and 10 showers for the guys. At the Singerly Firehouse, there's 2 showers for the girls, 2 showers for the boys, right? So you got to know that when we get to the firehouse, it may be an hour or 2 before you actually shower. Or if you want to do the hose down, all the firehouses obviously have hoses. You can certainly just hose down and just call it a day, right? That's cool too. Don't, like, literally the van is going to smell to all high heaven by the end of this. I mean, literally, it's just the fun of it, right?
Yeah, I mean, I'm used to that from cross country. We were with boys in a van forever, so it's good.
Yeah.
I was just wondering if we showered at all. That's all.
Yeah, there will be shower capabilities for sure.
Okay.
Now I want to talk to you guys about the 3rd day and kind of what to expect. Well, let me talk to you about the first day as far as leaving the Pentagon. So the Pentagon's really touchy about what can happen there. So when we send off those first runners, it is going to be a quick visit at the Pentagon. Basically, I'm identifying ourselves as a small running group because there's lots of rules and laws and regulations that I'm trying to get around. So we're going to be a small running group. We're literally going to be driving into the Pentagon. We'll probably be saying a quick prayer, and then we're sending off the first folks. Last year, we did have a lot of news coverage at the Pentagon. I'm anticipating that may happen again. So that does delay us a little bit, but we do need to be kind of quick and snappy at the Pentagon and send the first runner off and be out of there. It's not going to be like a full race where, you know, there's like national anthem and lots of hoopla. Like, that's just not how it is. Similarly, on the back end, when we do get to ground zero, that is a very touchy situation when we run in there. While I would love to have you guys experience the fact that we've run for 3 long days, come into like a situation where there's crowds and clapping and cheering, that's not what the end of this run is going to be for you guys. We're running it basically into a graveyard where a lot of lives were lost. And it's a very somber situation. And there's not going to be people like congratulating us. There's not going to be people like, hey, great job. That's not how the end of this is going to be. It's really going to be a personal moment for each of us. It's going to be your own personal accomplishment for running and for raising money and for any other reason why you're actually doing this run. Because we're all doing this run for individual reasons. So just know that when we do get to ground zero, it is going to be a silent finish, if you will. That's the best way for me to describe it. But it's going to be amazing all at the same time. To experience ground zero on 9/11 is going to be like no other experience you've had. So just understand kind of what that end of this event is going to be. I do want to throw it out. I've had some people like, hey, what if we have friends that maybe want to run a day or so? That's the biggest thing and idea that I have is if you have folks that don't want to do the entire run but have an interest, if they want to meet us at the ferry in New York and run the last 3 miles, because we are on essentially a bike path, so it's extremely safe. If they want to be with you, and for folks that like have families joining us, if the families want to meet us when we're rolling off the ferry and we run as an even larger group down that bike path to ground zero, totally welcome to do that. I just kind of need the heads up that that's going to happen. So if you have anybody that has any interest in that, or if you want to even float it out to people, definitely I encourage it, because that's just going to make our impact even bigger. Any questions so far?
Yeah. Hey, Jen.
Yeah.
Do you need to know if we can't eat something, like I'm gluten-free?
Yes, that's on the list here. Nutrition. We'll jump into nutrition right now. We'll just segue right into that. Okay, so nutrition. So Wegmans gave us a $150 gift card. So I'll obviously be spending that on stuff for the vehicles. I'll probably be using a lot of that for waters, Gatorades, things like that. Also first aid. What's up? How are you, little man? Hey. Look at Paul's face.
I did.
And like first aid stuff. And then
any chance that we're gonna get like a box of Little Debbie oat milk cookies?
I could possibly arrange that. I think so. I could put that in the mix for sure. But I would also encourage you bringing your own nutrition as well. The firehouses, as we stop at firehouses, they will be shoving food at us. You know, they'll be sending us off with Gatorades, waters, granola, all of that stuff. But if you have specific diet needs, it is on you to make sure that you're bringing what you need into the van. You can shove it into the coolers if it needs to be cold or refrigerated. Last year we actually had wives of several runners make some outstanding sandwiches that became crucial to us, thanks to Adrian's wife. I mean, she like hooked us up with some sandwiches that, I mean, it was amazing.
Absolutely.
Sandwiches.
We couldn't finish without them, that's for sure.
No, we definitely, yeah. And if she can hook us up again this year, that would be awesome because they were so good.
She's listening.
Oh, hello, Claudia.
Hi, how are you?
Good. Yeah, your sandwiches were amazing.
Yes, Claudia, you rock.
Please,
Yeah,
thank you. I will make it back again.
Awesome. Now, the food that you can expect at the firehouses at night, they will be cooking for us. They will be cooking massive dinners for us. And I think it's going to be similar to what we had last year because both of them were like, hey, did you like what we ate? So at Singerly, I think it was like ham, green beans, potatoes, salad. They gave us so many freaking treats. We had
and cake.
Yeah, they had cake and like everything. And then Trenton did like massive, like chicken parm, pasta, salad with homemade dressing, which was outstanding. And then they brought in an ice cream truck for us. That was like good. Yeah, so I have a feeling it's going to be similar of how they're going to be feeding us. So yeah, if there are specific dietary needs, we can definitely one-off have that conversation to make sure that you are set to go. But that's definitely what you can kind of expect from firehouses and what that, yeah. Any other questions as far as nutrition or any other questions?
I have a second question.
Yeah.
So how do we deal with like bathroom breaks?
No, fabulous question. We're going to give you a can and you got to pee in the No, I was just kidding. No, like that's kind of like, they're, like I said, this isn't a race. So it's very casual, right? So if you're in the van, you're like, hey, I got to pee. I mean, everybody's going to have to pee a lot because you're going to be shoving lots of like fluids down you. So as a runner's out there running, the van will just drive to wherever, and we'll be stopping at various like fast food restaurants. We'll be stopping at police stops. I mean, we stop everywhere to find a bathroom. So Don't think that you're going to be like one man out of like, I don't want to be that, because everybody is going to have lots of bathroom needs. So trust me, that's no story on that one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just another thing, just so you know, like the van goes ahead of the runner, and we actually take the time while we have that leg running to reach out. So we have So we're like stopping in like strip malls. We're going in, we go to the bathroom, we get snacks. We're talking to people, telling them what we're doing, what the cause is. And actually it helped with getting donations. And like, there was a lot of downtime. It's surprising how much downtime you actually have. Unless Daryl's running, then we're like chasing him. But like, than that, like it's awesome. You have plenty of time to do anything you need to do. I never felt like I was like, oh my God, I gotta get out of the car and go potty. You know, you're good.
Okay. Thanks.
Yeah, and that's a good point. I mean, as we're stopping, we're definitely using that time to basically market what we're doing, to try and drive more donations and just to kind of get the word out and see if more people will follow us. So, as far as transportation and routes and all of that, every van will get a copy of the route. And I would definitely suggest that you have 2 people watching the route and a map just to make sure you guys are always staying on track. That way no van is getting lost. And even if you feel like you're getting lost, I'm always going to have a cell phone with me. So, you know, I'm always reachable at any point in time. But just to give you that heads up, every van will get a copy of the route. And frankly, I think that the way it's how I kind of envision it is that the vans are going to be pretty close together anyhow. So I think if you're not seeing another runner, you're going to be seeing another van. So I don't think it's going to be like you're out there not seeing anybody. I think that we're all going to be very close together, essentially. And that brings me to the third day. In going up to New York last weekend and talking to David, who is with the Elizabeth City Fire Department, he, like I said, he has hooked us up to where we are going to have an escort the entire day. That being said, they do not have the manpower to provide 4 separate escorts, you know, for the 4 different teams. So on the third day, when we get to about the New Brunswick area in New Jersey, all the vans are going to have to start sticking together, and the runners from each van will be running as a group with an escort in front and back. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Okay.
So there's already 4 teams?
Well, there's 3 with I'm thinking a potential 4th is the Hope for the Warriors. I think is going to sign up this week. And then I think I'm going to cap it at that point. And speaking of van and routes, we will be going through tolls. So if anybody has an Easy Pass, toll pass, coordinate with your team to make sure that you bring one of those with you and you throw that in the van. That way the van can roll through the toll stops and not have to worry about, do we have cash to get through the toll? As far as safety and security. So I purposely set this up that we will be starting each day at 5 a.m. It's dark at that hour. So for those that will be taking those early morning legs, it is on you to have a headlamp and to have reflective gear. I will not be supplying that. It is on you to make sure you have that. You can certainly share it amongst, you know, your team. So those that are running during those early morning hours when it's dark, you need to be wearing that, as well as when it gets to be around dusk. We'll be ending each day between 7 and 8 o'clock. In September, that is like dusk time. So it's going to be on you to make sure that you have that on you so that you can be seen at all times. I would discourage playing music, having earbuds. Unless you are on a leg where it's like a path of some sort, like a bike path, because we will be running on shoulders, and you should always make sure that you, all of your senses, if you will, are fully engaged, and that you not jam into some music and then, oh, here comes a car that's not really paying attention to me, right? So I would discourage using any type of earbuds, at least for those sections of the run. I would encourage you to possibly run with cell phones if you can carry one with you. That way, if you need, like if an emergency comes up and you need the van right away, you know, you aren't like flagging down a car to call anybody. You're just grabbing your cell phone and making a call to somebody. So I would definitely encourage people running with their cell phones. You're going to get hot and sweaty, so you may want to put your cell phone in some type of like plastic sandwich baggie or something. That way you don't destroy your cell phone.
Can I say something real quick?
Yeah.
So along the lines of your phones, this happened to us. Bring extra chargers, battery chargers, so you will be living off your phone constantly, and you'd be amazed at how fast you're going to drain that battery. The good thing is that it's from people that are supporting you, and you're getting the emails and messages on Facebook and what have you, but you will be checking your phone a lot. If you have extra battery, like those extra batteries you can connect your phone to charge it, that is huge. If not, it's going to be tough having no battery on, no charge in your phone.
Are you in Dr. Evil's lair?
Yeah. So after this call, I got to do 3 hours here.
But yeah, no, Ed brings up a great point, because I think one thing that kind of helped to make the run, and it drove so many donations for people, was constantly updating Facebook with how you're doing on the run, thanking people, thanking supporters and donors. We had multiple people on the run last year do Facebook Live, whether it was in the van or on while they were running. Summer was infamous for all of her Facebook Live action. Somehow she managed to carry the flag and wear designer sunglasses and do Facebook Live all while running.
So crazy.
So I mean, but the point of it is, Summer walked into the weekend, I think only having raised like $50 to the $1,000 requirement, and she ended up raising the most money that weekend. Like she ended up with like $2,500 in donations, and she did it all that one weekend. And it really had everything to do with all of the social media that she was doing for it. And she had tons of followers, and she did it at like just perfect times. Like she was running up some massive hill, and she was doing Facebook Live, and like, you know, do I run? Do I walk? And I mean, people were like logging in and like talking to her as in like, you gotta run up the hill, you know? I mean, it was really unbelievable. So that's why I say the run is how you make it. And I think that if you use social media to your advantage to get donations, but also just to kind of spread the mission, it's going to be very powerful. And what also made it powerful, and I think all of the runners from last year can attest to this, is as they were updating their Facebook, people were getting messages on Facebook from like childhood friends that they had never talked to in like, 20 years, saying, reaching out to them like, hey, I haven't talked to you in 20 years, but I see all this stuff on Facebook and it's amazing what you're doing. So it really has the capability of really truly reaching your network. All right. Any questions on any of that?
I do have a quick or kind of statement.
Yes, is that Anna?
Yeah.
Yes.
I know I sound like Minnie Mouse. So I did get permission from Operation Homefront to do live videos on our national page. If you guys would be interested in doing those, I would just need to get media, because it's very legal. I have to get like media slip signed from you guys, just like saying it's okay that we put you on our Facebook page. If that would be okay with you guys.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, it would be. Absolutely. That's awesome.
Yay.
Yeah, if you need that beforehand, if you want to send that to me and I can send it out to the group and have people like maybe scan and email it and I can get it to you.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Okay.
It's a really it's like half a page. It's super short. You just have to read it and like initial, and then it's good.
Awesome. Or if you can somehow throw it up on the 9/11 Facebook page too, if that's an option.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. Yeah.
Okay, great. Awesome. Thanks for doing that. That's awesome.
No, I'm excited. Everyone at work, they're super excited. They keep on laughing at me because they're like, "You're doing what?"
But you know what? Come the weekend of, they're going to be jealous. Promise you on that.
Yeah, no, they're so excited.
That's good. What else do you need to bring and use? I told you about the safety stuff. For those of you that haven't done anything kind of this magnitude, things that we found that you're definitely going to want to bring: suntan lotion, Vaseline, probably some Aleve. Obviously, I will be supplying each runner with 3 t-shirts. They're 9/11 t-shirts. Ladies will be getting tank tops. And so you're probably going to want 3 different pairs of running shorts because you will be absolutely disgusting by the end of each day. So you're probably going to want 3 pairs of running shorts. Make sure you have couple extra pairs of running socks, because maybe when you're done running, you might want to switch out your socks. You might want to bring 2 pairs of running shoes if you feel that you might need to rotate your shoes. And then that night in New York, we're probably all going to be going out to dinner. So you obviously, but it'll probably be at a bar. So it's not going to be some fancy place. So that sort of stuff. Definitely the chargers. Make sure you bring, and bags. That's great. Yeah, bags to put your dirty clothes into. So that sort of thing. Also, while we're running, and I don't think I have it with me. Last year, the runner, and you're not required to do this, so don't feel that you have to do this, but this is something that we ended up doing, and I think we all just kind of got pulled to do it and just kind of felt the need to do it, is each van will be given a giant American flag, and it's the flag that has the names of all of those lives that were lost that day. I'll be attaching it to basically a PVC pipe. A pipe that's not going to be too light to where it's going to be flimsy, but it's going to be heavy enough to where it kind of sits and stays. It'll be thin so you can grip it. You can put it on either shoulder, and the runner will be running with the flag. Obviously, that's to bring attention to our mission, but it's also a safety thing. So there's more of you to identify yourself on the road. So you're not required to run with it, but each van will be given it, and it will be up to you whether the runner wants to use it or not. Okay, as far as pace and time of day and all of that, it is up to each team to keep a 10-minute pace. And that is so that each day we are starting at 5 so that we can finish the firehouses between 7 and 8. That does not mean that each individual runner has to run a 10-minute pace. It is a team average. So teams are pretty much stacked with, more experienced runners, less experienced runners, faster runners, slower runners. That's awesome. That's how I want it to be. Just make sure as a team you are keeping that pace. If at any point in time you find that you are falling short on that, you need to notify me. Somebody in your team does need to notify me, and I will either have somebody come help you pick up the pace, or you might have to drive a couple miles just to kind of catch up with the pace. Keep in mind, this is 240 miles. Nobody's really tracking whether we're running all 240 miles because this is not a race. So if the van does have to drive a couple miles, please do not freak out and be like, oh, again, this is not a race. This is not for any prize. So it's A-okay if the van does need to get everybody, the whole team in the van, and drive a couple miles. And you also may find that there may be sections on the route where not everyone in the van feels comfortable running in that type of space, if you will, meaning there are sections of the route that have very little shoulder. So if people are not experienced with that and don't feel comfortable, that's A-okay. My biggest concern here is everybody needs to feel safe and secure, but you are adults and it is up to you to make sure that everybody feels safe. So again, if there's a section where people are like, not feeling this, please, please, please get in the van and drive that certain section. And it's not going to be like big sections. It's not going to be like a 10-mile stretch. It might be like half a mile just to get through that one little section.
Jen,
Yes.
Adrian,
Yes.
Maybe you want to enforce the fact that we want to run. As a runner, you want to run against the traffic
Yes.
as much as you can. But there will be sections that you can't. You might have to cross the street, run, and come back to the other side again multiple times.
Yeah, so you have to use your running smarts, if you will. So cross as much as you can at corners. There aren't going to be police out there helping us, so just make sure you understand that. And you should be trying to run against traffic as much as possible. But again, yeah, Adrian's spot on, where you might have to be crossing the road. And that's really primarily like the first day and a half, where you might find yourself kind of hopscotching across the road a little bit. But after that, like by middle of the day on day 2 through the rest of it, pretty clear after that as far as the route and what's available to us. And speaking of like training and things like that and pace, to give you a heads up, the first day is a lot of hill action. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. It's a lot of hill action. So as you're training, please make sure that you are training and training on some hills so that your legs are used to that. And I would also highly suggest that you are trying, if your schedule allows, running at different times of the day, because you may find yourself running at 9 a.m. and then you may run again around 12 p.m. in the middle of the afternoon, right? And just so that your body is accustomed to the weather and anything else that may be thrown at you, just make sure that you're not always running at 6 a.m. in the morning or 9 o'clock at night, when the sun's not out, because that's not realistic to how this is going to happen.
And you mind if I jump in real quick on that?
Please, yeah.
On top of what Jen just said, which is she said you're going to run multiple times, it doesn't mean that it's only going to be twice, depending on the weather. If it's hot, I mean, that Saturday where we hit that heat wave, I think, again, we ran 2 miles, 3 miles. Everyone was just alternating, and everyone probably ran 3-4 times during that span, if not a little more. So if you can during your training, it doesn't mean that you have to go for 5, 6, 7, 8 miles each time. But if you run in the morning and after work or in the middle of the day, if you have time, run again. Again, you're going to be running multiple times. And when we say multiple, it doesn't mean only 2, 3, 4, 5. Don't know. It just depends on the day.
Yeah, your legs definitely need to feel how that's going to feel. And you don't have to do it like all through your training. I would say, pick like a weekend or two where if you have that capability in your schedule that you do that like once or twice, just so your body knows how it's going to respond. Any questions on any of that so far?
I do have a question about like the route.
Yeah.
When you're, maybe I missed it. When you're like the running, how do you know where you're going? Do you get like a map?
No, the route is actually pretty simple. So there's only like 3-4 roads that we take. Granted, as we get closer to the firehouses, when we start to like go into certain cities, there's a couple turns and stuff like that. And that's all communicated to the runner. And again, you can have the van close by to where, like, if you know that there's going to be a turn, the van can sit at that intersection. So as you get close to the van, okay, I'm going to need to turn right or left. But a lot of it is just straight shot running, like a straight line. Granted, for instance, we run on Route 40 on the first day, and Route 40 is a super long road, and it winds a little bit. But it's, as long as you keep seeing Route 40, you're on track. You're going the right way. Amazingly, last year the runner never got lost. Daryl got lost in the morning on that one day. That's because Daryl's just fast. Daryl's just fast. So he may have gotten lost on the first day, on this like second day.
Probably
but we built
clocking 6-minute miles.
Yeah. But we reeled him in pretty quickly.
Okay.
He's a beast.
Okay.
Okay. So a couple other things. This is more for the end of the run. I have sent links to you guys for the hotel.
Hey, Jen?
Yes.
Jen?
Yes.
Hey, maybe this is a good time that each of the teams should know that it'll be nice to have a navigator, somebody who really is responsible for understanding the route and not 6-7 people try to pinch in and figure things out. As we map out or finishing mapping out the route and just making sure that we update the distances and all and so forth,
Yep.
maybe we should have a review with, let's call it the navigator or navigators.
That's
I don't know, just something that occurred to me now.
Yeah, I'll write that down. That's a great idea, Adrian. Navigator call. Yeah, I can set up another conference call and I can send the route to the navigators and we can jump on a call so we can talk through it. Does that sound good? Yeah. Okay.
Penny, did you get a warning on time for this meeting? I just don't want you to get cut off.
No, I haven't gotten any notice yet.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah. Okay, so a couple things for like the back end. Well, okay, as far as fundraising goes, just to kind of give you guys a heads up of where we sit. Currently, we have raised a total of $3,985. And I can tell you that Paul Veroni is leading the pack with $850. Great job, Paul. There is a $1,000 requirement. You guys all obviously read that when you signed up. You do have until October 1st to make that $1,000. Honestly, guys, I'm going to tell you, if there's anybody stressing about whether they can make the $1,000, please, please, please do not stress about it. You're going to find that you're actually going to blow that $1,000 out of the water, especially when it comes to that weekend. And, you know, I think people are a little hesitant right now to donate because we're not super close to 9/11. It's still out of people's minds. But as the summer comes to an end, you're going to start to see, as you put more posts out and emails out as far as like, hey, I'm doing this, can you donate? You're going to start to see more donations roll in. And that weekend, if you're doing social media, you're going to find that you're going to raise a whole bunch of money. So please don't stress about whether you're going to meet that $1,000 requirement. I can guarantee you everybody's going to hit it, and you're probably all going to do way more than $1,000. I would love to see, as a group, if as a group we could raise $50,000. But you know, obviously we're only committed. You guys have only committed to raising 1,000. But if we can hit 50,000 on year 2, I'd be stoked about it. You guys, as people donate to you, CrowdRise should be sending you a notification that, hey, so and so donated, and you can then in turn hit like send them an email reply of like, thank you for donating to me. I definitely encourage you guys to do that. I did put on the Facebook page that I am sending out, each week I'm running a report of all the donors, and I'm sending out thank you cards to all the donors. So they are getting a thank you note, but it's also great that if you were to send, you know, just a quick email when you get that CrowdRise notification.
Hotel room.
Hotel rooms, thank you.
Yeah, I just got an email from Michelle. She said she couldn't make the call, but she wondered about booking it. So we need to do that. Yeah,
so I sent out an email. I also put it on the Facebook page, the link for the hotels. I have reserved rooms for us for the night of September 11th, as well as the next night on September 12th. And here's why. Last year when we got into New York, we actually didn't get to our hotel until probably 10, 11 o'clock at night. We ate a super late dinner, probably like close to midnight. And then we turned around and left New York at 8 a.m. on the 12th. And as we were leaving New York, we were like, why are we not staying an extra day to kind of take in the city and just kind of enjoy each other in a more relaxed manner? So that's why I have booked rooms for the 2 nights. It is up to you to go on that link and book your room. If your family wants to join us in New York, obviously, that would be awesome. But it is up to you. I am touching base with the hotel this coming week, probably midweek, to see how many people have. Sorry, that's Jake. Jake. He wants to say hi. Just to touch base to see how many rooms have been reserved, to see if I need to increase the contract on rooms and stuff like that. I do need to have an idea from you guys, and I am going to start to try and get that this week. If you guys are going to be staying both nights, or if you're just going to be staying the night of the 11th, and here's why. I need to know, because I'm responsible for you guys, who needs to be coming back the next day, and to make sure that there's transportation coming back on the 12th. Or if everybody's, staying till the 13th, great. But I need to get an idea of who is staying and who is leaving on the 12th. If you think that you're going to leave on the 11th, it would be like a super late flight. If you wanted to leave on the 11th, that's totally fine. I know that not everybody's schedule is going to allow, but so we are taking a certain ferry. We will not get to Ground Zero until about 6:30, and then we'll be at Ground Zero for a while. So it would definitely be a late departure if you were trying to leave that night. So I'll be reaching out to everybody just to see where people sit with that. Has anybody had any issues with the booking link that has already booked rooms? Has anybody booked rooms? No. Okay, so that link and those rates are only good, I think, until like August 1st, maybe. So make sure that you do book your rooms, because I don't want to lose. I don't want to lose those rates for you guys. Any questions as far as the hotels go? No. Okay. Okay. So last year when we got to Ground Zero, Tuesday's Children, which was one of the charities last year, they had a really good connection at the 9/11 museum, and we actually, all the runners got in free to the museum that night. That's actually like a huge deal, guys, because they only open up the museum on 9/11 to the families that actually lost loved ones that day. So it was a really big honor for us to be able to get into the museum and see what that was all about. It's an extremely powerful museum. I mean, it's one of those museums where you literally could spend all day in it. I do not think that we are going to get in that night. And I'm trying to get us discounted tickets because obviously we have different charities this year. And I don't think either charity has like a serious connection to the museum. So that being said, if there is interest by you, your friends, family, whoever might be meeting us in New York, of going to the museum on the 12th, please notify me, because I need to kind of get an idea of how many tickets for a group discount that I would need to get. Questions on that? No. Okay. Great. 2 other reminders. This coming Friday, Operation Homefront, one of our charities, they have gotten lots of school supplies that have been donated, and they have lots of backpacks that need to be packed with those school supplies. Operation Homefront, the local office is here in Sterling, Virginia. It's kind of near the Dulles Town Center Mall. They have asked for our help in taking those supplies and packing those backpacks. Those backpacks will then go to children of military that are deployed. Then they also want to have like a little table set up for us to write notes to the military that actually are deployed, thanking them for their service to the country. So I put this out on the page, and as a reminder, that is this Friday from 6 to 7:30. It's a great opportunity for you as a runner to come and kind of get to know the charity, but it's also an opportunity for you to bring your family and kind of get them involved. It'd be great to share that with your kids. So please do need to kind of give them a rough idea of how many people they should be expecting on Friday. So if you can notify me, hopefully by Tuesday, and let me know if you're able to make it on Friday. You don't have to be there the entire time. You don't even have to show up at 6 if you can't get there until 6:30, 6:45, totally fine. If you can just help us pack up some backpacks, write a couple notes, and go on your merry way Friday night, totally cool. Just any little help that you can provide with that would be awesome. Any questions on that? No. Awesome. Last reminder, I did send out evites, and I have not gotten many responses yet as far as a dinner that I am hosting. This is on August 19th. It's at a pool here in Reston. The pool is really neat. It has a big old slide and diving boards and all of that, so it's super fun and kid friendly. And I have invited all of the runners. I have invited the charities, and I highly, highly, highly encourage you to bring family and friends so you can kind of share this experience with those that love you and are supporting you on this run. Mission Barbecue will be the food of choice that evening. Honor Brewery will be the alcohol served, and I will be supplying everything else. Obviously, if you guys want to bring any particular food, desserts, whatever, you're more than welcome. Sure, more food the merrier. But please take a look at those evites and let me know, because I do need to get some numbers so I can let Mission Barbecue and Honor Brewery know how much food and alcohol they need to be supplying. Please remember to bring your bathing suits, because the pool will be opened. And we get the pool all to ourselves starting at 7 p.m. There is a community room where I'll have it set up where the food's going to be in there. There's going to be tables for us to eat in the community room. We can also eat poolside. But it's basically, the pool will be ours, the entire pool and community room. And it's just to have some fun together, kind of gather together before we run in like 4 weeks after that. We did this last year, and I think it was great because honestly, last year it was 7 people that really didn't know each other. And I was like, we probably need to all meet and get to know each other before we jump in a van and run 240 miles together. But it was cool because everybody brought their families, everybody brought their kids, and it's fun fellowship, really. So please take a look at those evites and let me know if you are able to make it. That's all that's on my list. What questions do you have?
Jen, what are the teams?
So there is a team that I'm going to call it the Florida team. It's basically led by a guy named Mike Esposito. I don't know if Mike is on the call. I don't see his number. Random how I met Mike, I was at Wegmans, and this was like as I was in the planning stages, and Honor Brewery van was sitting next to me, and I was like, that's odd. It's a brewery that's basically, it was opened up by veterans. And so I hopped out and knocked on the window of the van and introduced myself and said, hey, I'm with the 9/11 Promise Run, and who are you, and how can we partner together? And he connected me to Mike. Mike's an endurance athlete, and Mike has now brought together a whole bunch of people from so many different states. I mean, Mike's team there are some people on his team from Jersey, Florida, Ohio, Virginia, DC, Maryland. So that team is kind of like just a whole bunch of mixture of people. And so that's one team. Then there is the original team, if you will, that ran last year. And then Summer will actually be leading a team comprised of all ladies. And those ladies are coming from, again, all different states. And then the fourth team will be the team that has not yet signed up from Hope for the Warriors. And then again, I think I'm cutting it at that point just so I can still manage it, because I do want to run myself and I don't want to be just, managing the whole thing. So those are the teams as of right now. Any other questions?
Yeah, when did we find out? I said each of us was gonna have like our own firefighter kind of, or responder.
I did send an email to Hope for the Warriors, and I've asked for that information so we can so everybody can start to do research. And that has changed slightly. So they have a connection to FDNY. And hey, we've had some new people jump on the phone. Hey, how are you? They started talking to more people within FDNY, and FDNY actually would like us to basically, each team will sponsor an entire firehouse, if you will. So they'll be running for a fire, and it'll be a firehouse that lost firefighters that day.
Okay.
Yeah. What other questions? Nothing. Oh, it's pretty good. I'm shocked. Okay. So I will probably set up another conference call as we get closer. If there's any questions that you guys have that you think of after this, please feel free to either throw it out on the Facebook page or hit me up directly. I've been sending out emails, so everybody should certainly have my personal email and my personal cell phone. So please, please, please do not think you are bothering me. We are 9 weeks out from this, and I want to make sure that yeah, I know. Can you believe that? I mean, Auntie, I'm like freaking out myself. Like, yeah, 9 weeks is not a lot of time. Yeah. And so I want to make sure that you guys have all the information that you need and are totally comfortable and feeling positive and set up for this. Because this run is not going to be successful unless you're feeling successful, and it's my job to make sure that you guys are set up to succeed in this. So please, please, please make sure, if you've got questions, to reach out to me or throw it on the Facebook page. In all reality, if you have a question, it's probably going to be a question for other people. So if you think that other people can benefit, please make sure you throw it out on the Facebook page, and I can quickly answer it. That way the communication's just flowing. For those of you that jumped on late, there was lots of stuff that I communicated. I am going to send out my outline to everybody so you know what was discussed. And if you have any questions on that outline, please just hit me up directly, and I can have one-off conversations with you to make sure that you get all of the information that was communicated. I've also recorded this call, and so I can send that out, and Summer's going to help me do that because I've never done that before. Yeah. Who knew Zoom? I mean, such crazy fun technology. All right. Any other questions? Awesome. So again, big things are like immediate need that I need from you guys. Please let me know if you're able to make Friday and the backpack extravaganza at Operation Homefront. Please respond to the evite that I sent for the August 19th dinner. And please make sure that you are reserving your hotel rooms and letting me know when you plan on leaving New York, whether you plan on leaving New York super late on the night of the 11th, if you're going to leave New York on the 12th, or if you're going to stay until the 13th. And if you're worried about, I didn't even bring this up, if you're worried about transportation back, there certainly will be vehicles coming back on the 13th. I will be staying in New York until the 13th. Obviously, I'm driving a van, so that van will be coming back on the 13th. So, and then there's obviously other vans, so we can make sure that you will have transportation coming back if need be, you know, we can make sure that you get on a train or get a flight out or what have you, you know, we just need to be communicating about it. Yeah. Hey, Paul, do you have a question? I love that little, hey, question. Oh, you're on mute, Paul. How do you unmute?
There.
Hey.
I saw that button. I was like, I wonder what that does. No, but I had a question. Well, I don't know if it's really a question, but what are we going to do? Like last year when we started, the 7 of us just met at your house. Like, are you guys all coordinating? Like, are we just all meeting at the Pentagon? I mean, is the original 7 going to still come to your house? Like, what's that deal?
Yeah, no, awesome question. Yeah, so here's the deal. So we have options with that. The original team, yes, you guys can certainly meet at my house. We can all truck down in the van together. If anybody is coming from out of town and they need a place to crash, I obviously have lots of room in my house. I live by myself. I have lots of spare bedrooms. So you're certainly welcome to crash at my place and ride down together. I'm also going to throw it out for the other teams that are not in the van that I'll be driving with. Rather than you having to try and find parking and leave your vehicle in Arlington, you can park in my neighborhood and everybody can meet at my house the morning of, and we can literally, all 4 vans can travel to the Pentagon and be there together. That way there's no like, who's where and where's my car and stuff like that. So everybody, in fact, I'm going to encourage that. Just plan on parking at my house. We'll load the vans. It's going to be a super, super early morning that morning. And we'll just load the vans with everybody's luggage and nutrition and coolers and things like that. And then we'll just travel down together. And then, like I said, if anybody's coming from out of town and needs a place to crash the night before, more than welcome to stay at my house.
Cool.
Great question.
I know.
Any other questions? No. All right. Awesome. You guys, thanks for jumping on the call. I know it's late on a Sunday night. I appreciate your time. But most importantly, you guys, I appreciate you guys signing up for this run, for raising money. You're making more of an impact than you realize right now. The weekend when it hits, you're going to be hit with a lot of emotions. And I can't wait to share this entire thing with you because it's going to be epic. Trust me on that. I mean, after the run, I had a dinner for the families, and I had spouses coming in thanking me. They weren't even running, and they were thanking me what I did, what I did. And I was like, I did nothing, but what I did for their spouse that ran. So it's really an amazing journey. I'm excited to share it. Awesome. You guys have a fabulous week. You're rock stars.
Thank you, Jenny.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you.